The best junior developers do this one thing and this one thing consistently. Just try. Now I know what you're thinking, that's probably the biggest clickbait title that you've ever come across on YouTube. However, there's a point to it, and in this video I am only going to talk about one thing, and one thing that you can do if you are a junior developer to be the best junior developer, to excel from junior to mid to senior in an exceptionally quick manner, but also gain the recognition in your company for being somebody who really stands out. Now, we are currently in the middle of a heat wave here in the UK, so hot. Okay, so how do I know this one thing works? I know for a fact this one thing works because it's something that I employed in my early stages of my career. Now, when I first came into the scene as a career changer into software engineering, obviously at the junior level, I wanted to stand out. Now, because I came from a career change, I felt the pressure even more to try and work harder, to try and be more, to try and get involved more, to try and be somebody who really excelled. And what I actually didn't quite realize is that I was getting recognition for this one thing, even though I didn't really consider it something exceptional or out of the norm until I started mentoring and teaching other people. Now, I'm not going to make you wait till the end to figure out what this one thing is. I'm going to tell you. However, I do suggest you wait to the end, because by the end of this video, which I'm going to keep short, under 5 minutes, I'm going to teach you some practical tips on how to implement it. Now, the one thing, believe it or not, is this. Just try. That's it. Just try. 2 words. Just try. Very simple, very plain, very easy to follow. Now, I know what you're thinking. Zach, I do try. I am trying. However, when it comes to software engineering, there are approaches to trying. Now, I'm going to give you an example. Do not think that you're a junior developer. Imagine that you're a senior developer at head of a company. You're working for Google. You're making tons of money, which hopefully you will be doing soon. And your team takes on a junior or an apprentice. Now, you are the one who gets to guide this person. You assign a ticket to this person, simple ticket or whatever it is, and you send them off on their way. Now, a day later, 2 days later, they come back to you and they say, hey, excuse me, Mr. Senior, I really stuck with this. I don't know what I'm doing. So you turn around and say, okay, cool. Show me what you've done so far. And guess what? They've not done nothing. They've not tried. They've not wrote any code. They've just stared at the screen and they've not got anything to show for it. They can't show you any code example. There's nothing there. Now, this might sound weird. You might be thinking to yourself, well, I'd never do that. That's not me. However, it is quite rife at the junior level, especially when people get overwhelmed, they get hit with imposter syndrome and they get stuck. Now, imagine this next scenario. So the person you were working with before, unfortunately, they got cut. And you get a new junior and you're thinking, hey, I'm going to give this a try. Let me try this again. You assign them a ticket. They go off on their way. They come back to you and they say, hey, I got really stuck on this ticket. However, this is what I tried. And this is the part where trying comes in. So when you get that problem, when you get that statement, when you get that ticket, the main thing you need to do is dig in and try. So the first thing you need to do is make sure you understand what the process or the ticket is asking you to do. If you are being asked to implement a feature, make sure you fully understand how the end user is going to use that feature so that you can implement it to your best. The second thing you need to do is go off and write some code and make some mistakes. So this is where people don't often understand. At the junior level, you are being paid to learn and you're being paid essentially to make mistakes. It's your get out of jail free card. So you fire off on your way, you write some code, you put a map in there, you put a loop in there, maybe you render some elements to the DOM, and you're on your way. However, you get a little bit stuck. Oh, hang on a minute, I can't quite figure this next part out. I'm not quite sure what to do. This is where you ask for help. Now you go back to your senior, remember from the story, and you say, hey, look, I got assigned this ticket and I've tried this. I've wrote this code, I've made this element appear, or I've figured this much out. However, I'm stuck on the next part. Now you see the difference between those two scenarios. Scenario 1, where the person doesn't really try anything and comes back and asks for help. And number 2, where the person tries first, still fails, still makes mistakes. However, they tried to get involved, they got stuck in, they wrote some code and made some mistakes, and they also approached the senior in the right manner. Now I know what you're thinking, this sounds really simple, like how can it just be that simple? But let me tell you one thing. I worked at 3 different companies in my junior years. At my junior level, I switched companies about every 8 months to a year, and in each company that I was involved in, that I got hired to, the one thing that I gained a lot of recognition for was I was known as the yes man, or the certainly man, as got written in one of my reports. Why? Because I was the person who got stuck in. At junior level, I was picking up the hard tickets, and a good senior, the good seniors who were around me were not saying, no, you can't do that, that's too advanced. They were saying, sure, go ahead and get stuck in. Because once I picked up the first and second, they saw I was really trying. I was on the right tracks 99% of the time. I just needed tweaking or a little bit of guiding to make sure that I stayed on the right track or to finish the project. That small thing made such a huge difference to my career that each company that I worked at still has open spaces for me if I ever wanted to go back, because I left such a solid impact as somebody who wants to get stuck in, somebody who wants to try, somebody who contributes. And now in my senior years, I still gain recognition as a person who does that because I still do the same thing. It's a skill that goes from junior to senior, and it makes you stand out exceptionally. How you get stuck, how you try, and how you ask for help are all huge things in software development. So I really hope you appreciate this video. Now, I told you it was going to be short, so please like, subscribe, check it out. Let me know your thoughts. I'd really appreciate it.